True Crime with Tale Site World of YouTube. Oh shoot. Forgot what I was gonna say. No, I'm just joking. Ding dong here. In tonight's episode we're gonna talk about Dawn Decker. And this is another awesome spiritual story that I got off of Unsolved Mysteries. And this happened back in 1983. Due to the fact that there was, there's a photo in this, but they claim there was no photos, but for whatever reason. And this is supposed to be a photo that showed rain on the wall. I think they were calling him the Rain Man. But I don't want to start reading this. And I'll just say it along as I go. But I guess he had some supernatural thing. Supposedly it had to do with his grandfather. But you know what? I think, and I have a good mind to think that something else happened in this area. Because I mapped this place out today on Google Maps, and I found out that not only in this same area where this guy lived, in the house supposedly where the supernatural take was at, is really not too far from a Native American Indian attack in this same town. And it happened at some mansion, and I guess the kids of this father, I'll put the link in for the story, and I'll put in the full story of Dawn Decker. But I'm going to do a mapping also on this just to show you what I found. And I think due to the fact, the only thing I got out of the story today was the natives attacked this, mansion, and all they say is the kids, as young as 12 years old, fended off Native Americans trying to attack their house. They were heroes back then, but only one could imagine why the natives were attacking. And I'm sure it ain't got nothing to do with just because they wanted to. Of course, I'm sure their land in that area, mind you, which is near, I believe, a park or conservation land, and the mountain throughout that area too. So I got good reason to believe the natives lived throughout that area. And I want to say this house from Dawn Decker was on some native land, and it could have been cursed. Because, if you think about it, and what made me look into this is the rain on the walls. And if anybody knows Native American culture, they like to try when it's too hot and when the water holes used to dry up back in the day. They used to do their little rain dance. And, try and get themselves to make some rain from the spirits of the gods of their ancient ancestors. And I think that this might have had But they were saying due to the fact that Don Deckard's grandfather had passed away, and he was supposedly in jail for stolen goods. But you know, you got that release referral that you're allowed to go to a funeral for a family matter. And that's what he did. And after supposedly the grandfather died, Don Deckard had some episode happen to him. But then they said it cleared up and it went away, but then it came back. And I don't think it was his grandfather that came back. Honestly, the way they spoke of that town and how 200 Native Americans attacked that house, and I don't know how all these kids fended it off, but I don't know, maybe they got drawn away from another battle of someone else, but yeah, it's just questionable. And when I say, when I look into this stuff, you know, I look into this stuff good to find out stuff. Like I said, I'll be putting the links in and everything about this. But this guy seemed to be getting possessed. And the main thing that had happened was they all thought, right, they thought it was plumbing in the house. But there was no plumbing that went through that area of the house. And they brought out, and the landlord, I guess, came over. And it was odd, and it was raining, it was like getting people wet, mind you. So what had happened was they took Don out of the house because they wanted to go across the street or something to some restaurant. And as soon as they left that house, and he was visiting people at the time, because that's what he felt, the sickness at his parents' or grandfather's estate, you know, place where he lived. That's why he went to the friend's house, and when he was at that friend's house, you know, whether or not it was his grandfather spirit, because he used to beat him, he said, and abuse him starting at the age of 7. So whether or not his spirit followed him to that place, the friend's house, it obviously followed him to a restaurant across the street, because it stopped immediately when he left the house, and we went over to the restaurant. It started getting wet in there, raining. Then he left that and it stopped. But due to the fact that I think, and what I think, and I stand by my word with a lot of things. I just got cut off, but just like another story I think I covered about the boy who was getting attacked. He was getting attacked by ghosts and evil spirits. His grandfather came by, you know, and helped him, made him feel safe. But yeah, that last story I was talking about, kid must have opened up a realm. And I think Don Deckard opened up this realm just like that other kid, and had an evil entity following him. And I don't think I covered that area of that other kid, but this is what I found. I'm gonna shut this down. Sorry if you were reading it, but I gotta do my mapping here. Where are you? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, that ain't it. There it is. Come on. Now over here, the Dansbury house, mansion. I don't know if there was another family, but the Dansbury is the one that got attacked. And I believe somewhere in the Kebab House, which is a restaurant, Dansbury Cemetery, I believe there might have been a house in between there somewhere. And this mansion is another person, Strode's mansion. And he, as you can see, also there's rivers that flow in through this area. Big indication of Native American dwelling. And like I said, this is the mapping of where this, like I said, the Dansbury Cemetery in between the Kebab House. In between there is where I would say the Dansbury Mansion stood that got attacked by the natives. Now, with that being said, and the mansion right there with the M, as you can see. Hey, stop it. Come on. All this area, I'm assuming, was a huge area for the Native American. And this Strode guy, he actually fought in the French-Indian War. Come on, pug. Now, when you go over to this map, and you see that red dot? That is actually them streets right next to the Pancake House. If you can see them little streets there. I hate doing this when I got this dog. Right here. That's where the other dot is located. Just to give you a better view of it. And this is where Don's place was. Where he had the rain in the house. So Don's place is all right there. So that being said, right, you come over here. You can actually see how close he was to the Native American attack. And the in there, the rivers and stuff where the natives would probably have lived and they got their land taken from them. And I would honestly want to say that all that place right in there is all cursed due to the fact that the rivers and where Native Americans used to live all up and down the riverbeds and, you know, go up in lakes, around mountain sides and stuff. All kinds of different places, but that's where Don's house is, and that's why I literally wanted to share this story of, you know, what could have been and why the Rainmaker, that's right, spirit world, I think had this happen. So that being said, I don't know if this guy's ever been cleared up from this. Like I said, I'll share the link of that story and the Native American story I found. And you can see that all in this area, that's right, is where that Native American, hey, get over there, Native American battle took place, so that's right. So I think there was something more sinister in that area just than the this Don guy's grandfather. Just like the Shadow Man, the other kid drew in his pictures. I forget his name, damn it. But I got the video up of what happened to him and his grandfather coming back. But his grandfather came back to become a protector, like I said. And this guy, whether or not his grandfather came back and opened up that door for him, you know, to be, you know, poor guy, man. It sucks, though, when you're not strong-willed. That's why evil entities attack. So, you gotta remember, can't show fear. It's the only, that's the truth. Can't show fear to these evil entities. That's why these damn things come to my wife and tell her to tell me I had that happen to stop doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I went back into that guy, entity, and told that where to go. 'Cause I'm still doing it, sucker. When I get my night vision, ha ha, I'm gonna have some fun. But I wanted to share this story anyways, and I just can't believe how close that guy's house was to all this that happened back in the war days of the Native Americans, French. And I believe also I was reading this place might have been something like around the Civil War, maybe a crossing or a battle went by it or something. But all in all, people, all in all, this stuff ain't no joke. And I think that guy, Don, encountered an evil curse area. So, until that next video, be safe, take care, and always believe. You hear that? They are out there. Spirit world is real. And once I get my night vision, man, I already caught something manifesting. So, I'm going to be catching a lot more, folks. A lot more. That's right. Because I connect with the dead. Advocate.